Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. I know, you're probably saying, where have you been? You haven't posted anything. Well, I'm sorry, but hey, I am back. And today we are going to start a new series in which I go ahead and purchase a new prop firm, go over it, review, and experience it firsthand, and then I give you guys my 2 cents on if I like it, don't like it, and based on that, you can make your own decision. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this is because I get asked all the time, hey, have you heard about this prop firm? Have you heard about that prop firm? Which one's your favorite? And honestly, I've only really tried a few of them. The first one that I tried was my forex funds. I went through the two-phase challenge, passed it, then received my live account, and then after a couple months I did end up losing it. I also tried FTMO. I only did the free trial and also the E8 funding free trial, and currently I am with Funded Next. I have been with that for a few months now and I am enjoying it. And the first one that I want to start off the series is called Funded Trading Plus. This one, it really caught my attention because unlike the conventional ones like FTMO or my forex funds, the programs are a little bit different. So we're gonna go ahead and go over through that. So that's gonna be the first thing. We're gonna go over the different options that they have. Gonna go over the dashboard and just the overall process. All right. So let's get to it. Alright, so like I said, the first one that I want to try out is called Funded Trading Plus. So first and foremost, as you guys can see, I made the purchase. So this is not a sponsored video. They did not tell me to make this video or anything like that. This is strictly review based on my experience. So let's go over the programs. Like I mentioned earlier, they do have different options that not many other firms offer. And this is actually one of the reasons why it caught my attention. So they have essentially three programs. One they call the Experienced Trader, Advanced Trader, and Master Trader. The Advanced Trader is just your typical one where it's a two-phase challenge. They give you an 80%, 80-20 split, and it could go up to 90-10 split. Phase 1, you have to have a 10% target, and for phase 2 you have to have 5% target. Now this is the one thing that I actually do like about them compared to other firms. There is no minimum trading days and there's no time limits, so you can take as little or as long as you want for this challenge. Now I will say the leverage is a little bit lower, it's 1 in 30, unlike the other firms where they do offer 1 to 100. The platforms you can use is MT4 or MT5. The drawdown, this is very important. For this program, the daily drawdown is 5% and the overall drawdown is 10. And as you guys can see here, it is a relative drawdown. Essentially what that means is that the drawdown follows you as you go up in profits. And these are the price. They offer you the 25,000, 50,000, 100,000, and $200,000 account. The price, again, it's relatively similar to the others that they offer. $200 US dollars for the 25,000, $349 for the 50,000, $499 for the 100,000, $200,000 account, charge you $999. The one that I did is the Experienced Trader, which is only a one phase type of valuation. You guys can see it, single phase. Same thing, profit split is 80-20, can go up to 90-10. Profit target is 10%. Minimum trading days is none. Maximum leverage is same thing, 1 in 30. You can use MT4 or MT5. Now here's the thing that makes it a little bit different compared to the Advanced Trader. On this one, the daily drawdown is 3% compared to 5% on the Advanced, and the relative drawdown is 6% compared to 10%. And on this one, they actually offer an additional package, which is the $12,500 account size for $199, and the rest are similar pricing as the Advantage. Now, the last program that they offer, this one is, if they call it the Master Trade, this one it is no evaluation. You get straight to the funded account, so you can make your money right away. Profit split for this one is 70-30, and it could go up to 90-10. Again, since this is not an evaluation, there is no minimum trading days. Maximum leverage stays the same at 1-30. You can use MT4 or MT5, and there is a relative drawdown of 5%. Account size, you can go as little as 5,000 all the way to only 100,000. So unlike the other ones, they do not offer $200,000 account. The fees, essentially, the fee covers your drawdown. So if you do the $5,000 account, it's going to cost you $225, which again is basically the drawdown. If you do the $10,000, it costs you $450 US dollars, which once again, it is the drawdown. Which makes sense. If you're not going to go through any type of evaluation, this is their way to cover any potential losses. Alright, so let's kind of go into the FAQ. Alright, so we're going to go over some key FAQs about this proffer. Number one, are there any monthly fees? There is no monthly fees on this account. The only fee that you pay is for the evaluation, and once you pass the evaluation, you could actually get refunded. Can I trade any strategic using an EA? Yes, they actually do allow you to use EAs, algos, and bots. I will say, like to say, please be mindful of the program rules and limits when selecting strategies and EAs. We do not allow abusive trading such as arbitration, grid trading, or other forms of cheating. So if you have an EA that you want to use on this prop firm, I would recommend to contact support to ask them. That way they can give you a clear answer if your EA does not violate any rules. Second question, is the assessment on a demo account and can I withdraw profits? Yes. The aim of the assessment is for us to make sure that you are a consistent trader without any capital risk. Unlike normal demo accounts, the assessment accounts perform in the same way as our real accounts do in a live market environment. So they will feel like live accounts. And no, you will not get any profits during the evaluation. How long can I take to pass the assessment? You can take as long as you require to pass the evaluation, but to keep an account active, you will need to place at least one trade on the account every 30 days. This is perfect for anybody that wants to do swing trading. Now here's a big one. Can I hedge positions? They do allow you to hedge positions. And they say, our platform allows both long and short positions on the same market at the same time. You cannot take the opposite positions on more than one account. This is the case on evaluations or live accounts. Doing this is considered cheating and the account will be closed with no refund. An example of opposite positions would be trading gold long on one account and then gold short on another account. This is also known as grid trading. And how does relative drawdown work? Now, when you click here, it will show you a video, but basically, initially what would happen is they will do it as a kind of like a trailing drawdown. So for example, let's say that you start out with a $100,000 account, drawdown is $6,000 account. That account will have a $6,000 drawdown, right? Because it's 6%. But let's say that you have $3,000 profit, so that drawdown will trail by 3,000. So now instead of the drawdown being to 94,000, it will move up to 97,000. Now the cool thing here is that once that drawdown goes towards the initial capital, so let's say that you have a $6,000 profit. Now your drawdown goes from relative to static drawdown, which means that, let's say, okay, you have $6,000 profit, your drawdown is 6,000, but let's say that the following week you make, $20,000 profit. So now the difference between the starting balance of 100,000 to where you're at now is 26,000. So now your drawdown cannot is now technically 26%. So it'd be like say because it's a static drawdown, you cannot go down below the 100,000. Okay. So like I say, FAQ, they have a bunch of videos that kind of go over all of this, but that's basically the gist of it. So now we're gonna go over the dashboard. Alright, so we'll be right back. Alright, so here's the dashboard. It's very simple, honestly. There's not a lot of things that show in the dashboard. I will be completely honest with you. Personally, I think the best dashboard that I've seen comes from FTMO because it truly is kind of like a trading log. It gives you more details on your long positions, your short positions, so on and so forth. But anyways, we're gonna go over this one. Like I said, it's very straightforward. You go into your dashboard. When you log in, it says, hey, welcome back. And then it will tell you what your balance is right now, what your overall profits has been, and your overall gains, and how much you have left over to pass the challenge. Obviously, because I'm still on the face challenge, there's no available to withdraw, but I assume once you are on your live account, it will tell you how much you're able to withdraw. Now, obviously with this, because it is a relative drawdown, there's no point of you trying to do the math. Here would give you straightforward what your drawdown limit is. So in my case, my daily drawdown, I cannot go below 12,342 with 68 cents, which means it's $381. Total drawdown gives you the balance and what the overall amount is, and it gives you what your open risk is. Now this one I've noticed it does change. For example, and I'll give you guys right now, I'm currently at 3 positions. They're all in profit. Each one of them I'm risking 0.5%, which is about 60 something dollars. But for some reason here it's giving me $143. So if you do the math, it's about 60. No, I think no, one of them I think is 0.25. I need to double check on it. Either way, I did notice this number changes as closer to your profit, as farther deep in profit you are. So it seems like the profit goes in consideration. So like if I gain $100 more in profit, this will go to $242. Again, I'm not too sure. Obviously then here tells you your overall open trades, P&Ls, which is $101. Total profit is $12.50. Your average win trade and your average losses. This average winning trade obviously does not account to your open positions. It tells you how many trades you won and how many trades you lost. And then obviously if you breached any of the rules. Now we go to the overall trading. Again, very straightforward. It tells you your max drawdown, which is this little line, your balance, which is the gray line, and then your profit target. So you guys can see how as my profit or my balance goes up, my drawdown goes up as well. And then again, it tells you how many days you've been in this challenge, your win rate, and your status in the account. I will go over at least some of my trades, but to give you guys an idea, we did start off with a few losing trades. Initially, when I started this challenge, I approached it like any other challenge that I do, which is a 1% risk, and that was not the best decision, to be honest, because that gives me it gives me smaller room for error. So you guys can see, oh man, what happened here? Anyways, let's go back to this. I did start off with 3 losing trades, which brought me down to almost 3%. It was like 2 point something percent that brought me down. But then we went into a nice little winning streak. getting $93, 73, 128, 58, 41. And these are basically break-even trades, so I don't really want to count these because they didn't work out. And again, open trades, it tells you where you're at so far, and obviously gives you the stop loss and the take profits. So now, one thing before, I do have always stop losses. I took them out, especially on these trades, because I did not want to experience any type of slippage. That's why I took it out. But once the market opens, I'll put back my stop losses. And after that, there's pretty much nothing else, just notifications, rules and definitions. So just in case you have any questions, you can just go over through that and help and support. So again, it's very straightforward. There's not much going on in this dashboard. Okay. So let's kind of go over. All right. So one of the biggest things that I've had to deal with, and I'm sure a lot of other traders have had to deal with, is the slippage, especially during the transition from the New York session onto the Asian session. And so far, I have not experienced crazy slippage or crazy widening of the spread. Give you guys an example. I was doing my forex fund. I was trying it out. I was going through it again. This was a long time ago. I got into a pair. It was like an NCD CAD, NCD USD. Not too sure, but I know for sure it was an NCD pair. I kept my stop loss, and my stop loss was about 70 pips. And during this, during the transition between the New York session and the following session, even though it was a 70 pip stop loss, that thing got super wide that it hit my stop loss. And it was very frustrating, very, very frustrating. So that's one, at least for me, that's a very big thing from, especially since I do hold trades over over days or even weeks, since I am a swing trader. So with them, seems to be that I have not experienced that at all this week. I think the biggest widening of the spread was like 5 or 6 pips. So you can kind of see how it is here. There hasn't really been much. The spread wasn't that big. My profit was actually 110, but because of the little spread, it didn't get really too wide. Let's go a little bit small so you guys can see. Not much of a spread. So that's a very, very big thing. Now we're gonna go over a couple of the trades that I went, a couple winners, a couple losers, and then I'll give you my overall experience so far. Alright, so we're gonna go over a couple of my trades that I took. The first one was, let's go over the losing trade, which was the Euro, right here, the Euro USD. So, right, yeah, Euro USD negative 0.86% change, which was $65. So the way that I trade, I typically, now there's different strategies that I use, but the one that I use the most is using the super trend along with some confluences with the RSI and the EMAs. So the first thing that I look at, the yellow line, which is the 200 EMA, if it's trading above the 200 EMA, I look for longs. If it's trading below it, I'll look for shorts. And additional confluence is using the 200 DEMA, which is double EMA. If you guys don't know what that is, I can go over it in another video. But essentially, it's kind of like a smoother type of EMA. So when I look at this trade, I always do a top-down analysis, right? When I looked at the daily chart, and you can't really see it there, we saw a strong uptrend, right? It's above the 200 EMA. Go down to the 4-hour chart, same thing, is above the 200 EMA, and we're showing 2 buy signals on the super trend. So when I went down to the 1 hour, this is where I typically go for my long positions. I see over the 200, over the 200 DEMA, and it showed it was above the RSI in 50. So that's when I entered. I usually wait until we have two super trend buy signals and it's above the sell signal, right? Kind of go a little bit more inward. Same thing. We saw that two buy signals and it was above the both moving averages. But unfortunately, literally the second that I got into this trade, this thing just dumped. It just dumped on us. Again, there's no strategy that's 100%. And yeah, fortunately, this thing, the moment we got in, you see that huge. Let me just take this off. You see that huge candle to the downside. I believe this trade happened right after the market opened during the U.S. session. But yeah, that was the losing trade. Let's go on to the winning trade. Same concept, which was Audi CAD. You guys can see right here. It was a nice buy signal for $128, 1.3%. So let's go over it. So same thing, top-down analysis. I see that we have a nice uptrend. RSI is trading above the 50 EMA. Once again, I do my RSI. I use it a little bit different than most people. I don't do the range of 80 and 20. Personal experience, personally, I feel a lot of traders use the RSI differently. Again, if you guys want me to go over a little bit more details of each indicator, leave a comment on the comment section, and tell me what you guys want. So again, we're gonna go over top-down analysis. We saw a huge uptrend on that buy. I looked at the right here. We saw, I always forget which one it is. We saw a nice little break right here, retest. Go down to the 4-hour chart. Same concept. We saw a nice little push off. This was a little bit of a riskier trade, but we saw a nice little beginning of breakup structure. I saw both beautiful super trend signals on the buy side. It was already trading above the 200 EMA. Again, go down to my 1-hour chart, and that's when we entered. We entered right here. Again, like I said, I always wait for two things. Obviously, if you have more confluence, the better. For me is, I have two buy signals. Give me the signal. I see the RSI going above the 50. And boom, that's when we entered. And after that, this was actually a very beautiful trade because it literally hit our take profit. As you guys can see right here, it hit our take profit. And then, look at that. Look how close. It was just perfect. It hit our take profit, and then, boom, it just dumped. It just dumped. So I have to say, this was a very beautiful entry. And yeah, so overall, I do like this firm. Obviously, I will update you guys once I pass the challenge and once I get a first withdrawal. I do believe I actually did forget to mention their withdrawal system is actually pretty good. Unlike other firms where they'll pay you mostly in crypto, they pay you regular bank transfer through deal or just a regular bank transfer. I do like this because unlike when you do crypto withdrawals, you're not going to be charged all these fees, right? You don't have to worry about the fluctuation in the price of the crypto or anything like that. You just send out the invoice, they'll send you the money into your deal account, and then you can transfer your deal onto your regular bank account. And like I said, the reason why I love this is because with my forex funds, this was about 6-7 months ago. since I live in the United States, I couldn't use an account with Deal based on what they said. I don't know if it's different now, but I do remember seeing that they said I couldn't use it because I'm a US, someone who lives in the US, so I had to get paid in crypto. I remember one of my last withdrawal that I had was about $2,000, but after the price fluctuation of the crypto plus all these network fees and all that stuff, I ended up losing about a little over 100, I think about like $200 worth of just fees. So again, this is one thing that I love about Funded Trading Plus, that they'll pay you strictly through bank transfer/deal. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or if there's any other firms that you want me to try out, please let me know in the comment section and I will go ahead and do so. Once again, I will follow up with you once I'm done with this challenge and once I get my first payout. Or unless if you want me to do kind of like a weekly recap of all of my trades, I can do that as well. If not, I will see you guys in the next video. Please make sure to like, comment on this video. See you guys later.